What's up, my people? What's up, my tribe? How are y'all doing? Yes, I've been MIA for a minute. I apologize. I had to deal with some real world situations. But yeah, I'm in a different location right now. I'm actually at work, but this, y'all needed to know the latest. And oh my God, like, I was too stunned to speak. So I was on TMZ earlier today, and they gave me an article that was just hot off the presses. Time magazine listed
Balake.
as one of the 100 most influential people of 2025.
Oh my God, bro.
So not only did she secure a spot as the 100 most influential, but she is listed as a titan. So I was caught off guard when TMZ handed me the article, and I'm like, what's she influencing? Who's she influencing? The hell? Now, no, when you catch the segment, Harvey is going to say it's obvious that, she's going to be on the list because for the last, 4 months since December, she's been in the media nonstop, but not for the right reasons. But then again, there are people in that list that is on that list for the wrong reasons too. Got it. Understandable. But at least those individuals, they're in positions of politics. They do influence people for the wrong reasons, but they do influence people. Who's she influencing? Who? So I was too stunned to speak, too shocked. I was like, are you kidding me? I had to run and break my neck on TikTok and post a video about it, right? Right after the segment ended. I was like, let me go read the Times article because I didn't read the Times article. I was totally caught off guard. The situation don't even make it better because the individuals who's on the Titan list, Simone Biles, Serena Williams, y'all put her in the same category as Simone Biles and Serena Williams. Ku Klux Khaleesi has never won a single reputable award, like the cream of the crop, creme de la creme award, like Tony, SAG, Emmy, Oscar. She's never been nominated for any of that. And they put her in the same category as Serena Williams and Simone Biles. Simone Biles, the most decorated Olympic athlete in the world. Not female athlete, athlete. The most decorated athlete.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But that wasn't the thing that had me too stunned to speak. That wasn't the thing that knocked the wind out of me. What knocked the wind out of me was how she got on the list and who wrote the article. So I'm on TMZ and I'm waiting for my cue to go ahead and offer my 2 cents. And Harvey says, yeah, the article was written by Sherilyn Ifill, phenomenal individual, civil rights attorney. She is a professor at Howard University. And I was like, what? And then back in 2019, Ku Klux Khaleesi and Christopher Columbus of Hollywood made a sizable donation to the NAACP.
Damn.
At the time when said donation was made, Miss Sherilyn Ifill happened to be the president and the director of the NAACP Defense Legal Section. Baby, let me tell you, I had a roller coaster of emotions going through because let's not we forget who Ku Klux Khaleesi is and why she has the nickname Ku Klux Khaleesi, Plantation Barbie. If you haven't checked out the video in regards to if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, go ahead and check it out. But it's ooh, child, when I tell you a roller coaster of emotions in regards to if you look at Ku Klux Khaleesi's filmography, right? She's never worked with a black person. She doesn't even associate with black people. On top of the fact that she romanticizes the antebellum period, her and her colonizer ass husband got married on a plantation, or the fact that the way she treated Jamie Heath during the production of It Ends With Us is very racially coded. It's like, how, Sway? But let me read you the article written by Miss Sherilyn Ifill. I don't know the Blake Lively of the red carpet or the Met Gala. I never watched Gossip Girl. The Blake Lively I know is a philanthropist and a student of our country's most intractable problems. She and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, reached out in 2019 to make a contribution to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. I had been getting a few of these calls as our work fighting against voter suppression and police brutality was receiving national attention. I'm always curious about the kind of research famous people do before they make that cold call to offer their support. The ones I have remained in relationship with are those who, like Blake, really did their homework.
For real. Oh, really?
I admired immediately her curiosity and her sincere work to understand the conditions that shaped this country. I remember an early conversation in which she expressed frustrations that so much of our nation's history was not a part of the instruction she had received as a student. Her commitment to filling those gaps and becoming the most fully informed and prepared citizen is what I appreciate most about her. Blake is a serious person.
Oh, brother.
She is a risk taker. And she is committed to moving this country forward for her children and for mine.
Tell her, boo-boo kitty. I'm Shishi.
I'm gonna keep my real thoughts to myself because we in mixed company. But this is what I will say. What did Ku Klux Khalisi and Christopher Columbus of Hollywood do in 2019? What did they do? Because let me tell you something. They ain't never been the type of couple that give a fuck about black issues. They have never been the type of couple that publicly spoke out in regards to the systemic and institutional discrimination that black people have endured for like the last, 500 some odd years? Do they even know what NAACP stands for? Like, for real. Do they even know? Because usually when rich people give to organizations like this, it's just a quick tax write-off and then they keep it moving. Very, very few celebrities, and I haven't clocked any that isn't performative, that has really had a passion for some type of advocacy. The last known celebrity that I'm aware of that really had a genuine passion about it, and you saw her put in that work, Angelina Jolie. Irony is a woman via her PR team by way of Times Magazine giving a significant monetary contribution to the NAACP. A woman who got married on a plantation. A woman who admitted to being in blackface. A woman who have treated a member of the Wayfair production so egregious outside of everyone else because he's black. This one is alleged. As well as other questionable things that is racist. A woman who was on Saturday Night Live trying to parody a black woman. Irony is having a black woman who knows nothing about her, didn't even bother to research her as far as who she is, doesn't even know anything about Gossip Girls, interviewing her. I stand corrected. That wasn't an interview. It was a marshmallow fluff piece based off of an encounter that they had in 2019 via telephone. Let's keep it a stack and let's keep it a buck. Have you ever seen
Balake.
attend an event sponsored or hosted by the NAACP? And let's put the cherry on the sundae. She's a civil rights attorney and a professor at Howard University, a historically black university. Oh, wow. Wow. So she got the stamp of approval from a black woman. It takes a lot for me to get offended. And I don't know if I should be pissed or offended, but it really does take a lot for me to get offended when it comes to situations like this. But the fact that her and her husband made a significant contribution to the NAACP. I've seen this game. I know how this game is played. I've seen it time and time again. And unfortunately, said demographic falls for that shit hook, line, and sinker every fucking time. Every single time. I could set my watch to it. I've posted videos. I mean, wow, bro. Blackface. Trying to mock a black woman on SNL. Getting married on a plantation. And she used a black woman to help rebrand herself. Ku Klux Khaleesi and Christopher Columbus of Hollywood donated a sizable contribution to the NAACP in 2019. Allegedly, it was $2 million in 2019. What did they do? Let's keep it a stack and let's keep it a buck. They ain't exactly the type of people that give a fuck about social issues that affects black people. Considering that, their reputation and everything, right? Which I have already highlighted in 2 videos. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's a, okay. What did they do in 2019? Because you just do not arbitrarily donate $2 million, allegedly. Because we don't know, unless I pull the IRS form 990 from 2020, 2019 from the NAACP to see, it's right now it's alleged. But what did they do? Because the article is weak as fuck. Weak. Because they're not exactly the type of individuals that advocate for social change, especially social change for black people. So now my critical thinking hat or beanie is put on like, what did they do? What are they covering up? So this is where I enlist in the aid of the tribe. They did something because this was not out the kindness of their heart. So I'm trying to temper my emotions and kind of approach this from a very logic and mechanical perspective, but this feeds into a much deeper, nuanced issue that when I tell you I was on TMZ and Harvey was like, yeah, Sherilyn Ifill wrote the article. She's a phenomenal woman. She's a civil rights attorney. She's a professor at Howard University. You should have seen the look on my face. I was like, the NAACP? The NAACP. It felt like someone kicked me in the chest. I was like, oh, they got money from, like, how much the PR team paid times. My annoyance, my rage, my anger isn't even with the time. It's not. It's not. They're a publication. Yeah, their credibility is in question, but they got Elon Musk and Donald Trump, so I'm not even mad at them. I am mad at Sherilyn Ifill, a civil rights attorney, a professor at Howard University. She received that donation when she was the president of the NAACP. That right there is an obvious conflict of interest. So I want to offer a little clarification and nuance to my statement. Depending on who you're talking to, especially if you're talking to a lawyer, it may not be illegal or unethical to donate a sizable amount to the NAACP and then 6 years later have a marshmallow fluff piece written about you. But it does create a perception to the general public. It creates a very negative perception in regards to the NAACP, given how problematic this couple is and the lack of effort that the writer put into not even bothering to research the individual outside of her just being arm candy to her husband and dressing up in pretty dresses for the red carpet and the Met Gala. It just really shows laziness. And even though she's not a journalist, Given the nature of her position, she should have did a little bit more. There's a lot of nuance as a black person that is like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Wow. And there's more that I want to say, but I need to temper my thoughts, temper my feelings, and make sure that it is packaged in a way that is understandable, because I am in mixed company. But I'm extremely disappointed. And this feeds into a much deeper issue in regards to what's happening and the climate in this country. I'm so fucking stunned that I can't even get my words right. I can't even articulate right without saying the wrong thing, without saying something that is grossly offensive. I'm too stunned. It's wow. Ku Klux Khalisi's PR team was very strategic and very calculated when not only did they add her to the Time 100 Most Influential People of 2025, but had Sherilyn Ifill write that marshmallow fluff piece. That was very much intentional, because that's a nuance that a black person who has been following this story, who's been clocking Ku Klux Khalisi's bullshit, would have immediately caught it. Because while everyone is on the surface of how can the Time do this and the Time lost credibility and WTF, I'm looking at, so you had the president and director of the NAACP, a civil rights lawyer, and a professor at a historical black university write that marshmallow fluff piece. Oh, that was very much intentional. That was very much calculated. And that level of nuance is only going to get clocked by another black person who has been following this case from start to finish, who have been researching Ku Klux Khalisi from start to finish and seeing how racially problematic she is. Let me know your thoughts and 2 cents. And if you are not subscribed, or hit that notification bell, please. And thank you, and I promise I'm not going to do a long hiatus again, okay? But I truly appreciate your support, and thank you for being patient with me. Love you.